Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter. I can't believe it's Easter. It's not the same as other Easters, but it's still wonderful looking out at all the new life that's coming up in my yard. It's just amazing. I wanted to be outside, but it's just a little cold and a little windy. And last week, remember, I got wet doing the Palm Sunday thing. And I had a lot of papers and it's supposed to be very windy. So I didn't want all this blowing away. So I just want to tell you, this should be the biggest day of the year. Instead of Happy New Year that everybody goes crazy for the new year, this should be Happy New Life. Because this is the day that Jesus came back to life. We all thought he was dead. On Friday, all his friends, his mother, everybody thought Jesus died. They were sad all day. They were sad all day Saturday. They even were like, this morning they got up and they were going to go do a couple things at the graveyard where Jesus was, but when they got there, he was gone. And there was an angel there saying, he told you he was going to rise again. Why are you looking for him here? So it's a wonderful time of year for us to be celebrating Jesus rising from the dead, because everything, I bought this in from outside. Look at this branch. A lot of things are blooming, but some things still look dead. But if you look really close, let's see if I can find one there. Right there. Maybe you can't see it, but take my word for it. Have faith, trust me, that this is a little bit of green. This isn't dead. It's going to be coming to life soon. Here's another one. You could see this easier. See right here? It's starting to get leaves. Pretty soon this will have leaves and then it'll have flowers. It's just wonderful. And then when I put it down on the table here, look what fell out. Seeds. And they look pretty dead, don't they? Because they just look like a glob of brown. But inside that little seed is a beautiful Rose of Sharon bush that's going to have beautiful flowers. It's unbelievable, right? So God says, look at the seed. Have faith that that's going to bloom and become something beautiful. Just like us, we could be little seeds, right? And maybe sometimes we're not so beautiful, but we are growing into beautiful, beautiful people that love Jesus. All right. So let's see. So that's all from one bush that looks dead. I want to talk about the life that Jesus is giving us. That no matter what we do, we have a new day every day. Daytime, it's followed by nighttime. Daytime again, nighttime, daytime, nighttime. Thousands of years it's been doing that. Thousands of years the sun has been rising. The sun has been setting. Thousands of years, there's seasons. This is like the season of winter when things look dead. And then the season of spring when they come back to life again. And it goes around and around and around. It never stops. It's God's promise. It's for us to remember. If we read in our Bible, I got the stack of books here, and read in our Bible all the stories that tell us we have new every day. We can start fresh every day. For as long as we live, we can keep trying, because God says, I don't want you being anxious. I don't want you being worried. I don't want you being scared. I don't want you grumbling and complaining. I want you to realize you have a life in my son Jesus. He came to earth to show you and tell you all these stories that to help you realize he's telling the truth. What could be more true that life goes on and on and on for eternity with Jesus than him in his human body dying and then God 3 days later raising him and bringing him up into heaven after that. He had to show the disciples so that they would believe. I believe. It's a very hard thing to do, but we have so much time in which to work on it and to come up and really believe and have faith and trust and have the joy. Joy. That's the song I want to sing today. You ready? It's pretty easy. I'll do it now and then I'll do it at the end. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. And I'm so happy, yes, I'm so happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And that joy is about Jesus lives. Yes, he died. We all saw him die. We all in history and in the Bible have read that he died, but he rose again and he lives. So we don't need to be anxious, worried, afraid. We have to, looking to Jesus means trusting him. We can't shine bright unless we have faith and trust in Jesus, that everything he has told us, all his promises, will come true. And we find all those promises, remember, in the Bible. We could ask our parents, remember, home family, church family, the Bible, praying, right? Singing songs. That's how we find all the promises of Jesus. And when we know those promises, we can shine bright and be loving, kind, patient, gentle, and caring. We can't do those without seeking and finding God first. Because when we're doing those, we can't be grumbling. When we're doing those, we can't be afraid. When we're doing those, all those shining bright things, we can't be worried because we've learned the promises. We're shining bright. We don't need to be anxious, worried, and afraid. And grumbling. I find I grumble. Oh my gosh, do I grumble? And I don't need to. It takes away from my shining bright. When I think about Jesus and what he did, it helps me. But what helps me more is thinking about the things he didn't do. He didn't grumble. He wasn't anxious. He wasn't worried. If he had moments when he wasn't sure and was maybe a little bit afraid of something, he prayed. He put those shining bright and the seek and finds together, and he took it from his head saying, I'm afraid. Put it in his heart, gave it to God, and God helped him. He helped him through things that he was afraid of. He was God's son, but he was just like us too. I have allergies with all this wonderfulness coming, so don't mind me itching my nose now and then. He knew he was human. He had to feel all our humanness. So God let him feel all our humanness so we could connect to him and he could connect to us. He didn't say, you are so ridiculous for being afraid. I'm in charge. You don't have to be afraid. He didn't say that. He says, I know you are afraid, but you need not be. Do not be afraid. Keep your eyes on me. Believe me. Trust in me. All right? And then you can shine bright for me. because that's what he really wants for us, to be able to shine bright for him and help people that don't know him, or help people that do know him that need our help. Because sometimes, because we're human, we will be sad. We will be afraid. We might be mad. We'll grumble. But we have to try to get rid of that quickly, because it just blocks us from doing what God really wants us to be doing. So I'm sure there was more I wanted to say, but I think I'm going to show you our craft. Okay. But first I want to say, if you didn't see Palm Sunday video, please go back and look at Palm Sunday video, because that's where we started our craft. All right. I don't know if you remember, my bags got soaking wet out in the rain, so I had to get a new bag. But this one is like a medium-sized one. Okay. And I put the I believe again on the top. Remember, it's hard, but we can do it. We can believe. And I decided to make a sun, because Easter sunrise, you know, you get it. Put a rising sun on there to make it pretty. You could color it, remember, and do anything you want to it. And then the first thing that we put in that bag was, and I've had it folded all kind of funky, so it looks a little weird. But remember, we put, I believe I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Remember, that's our first shining bright thing to remember, our first God's Magoosh. And I'll fold it the regular way I did. And then we put that in our bag. All right. So today I found this other pretty piece of paper. And you can even get a piece of paper out of a picture out of a magazine that doesn't have much writing on it. And you could write, Jesus lives, happy new life. That's what Easter is. It's the beginning, because we can say, oh, that's right, Jesus lives. I can believe him. I can trust him. And then we'll fold that up. We'll put that in the bag. All right? Because when we get back together again, we're going to bring that bag in, and we'll share like how we colored our pictures. We'll share, maybe you can have mom and dad take pictures of you with their phone, and then they can send it to someplace like Walmart, or I think it's Walgreens. It's a very easy place to send the pictures to. Order the ones you want. They print them and they mail them back to you. You don't even have to go there. And it could be a picture of you doing our craft, or a picture of you. Remember, these are my Hosanna branches. They're still alive. And this is my little, remember, Palm Sunday flower arrangement of all the beautiful creations of God in my yard. So put them in the bag. When we come back together, you could show us some of the wonderful things that you did while we were apart. All right, I know you're doing some fun things. So, but today's craft, it's going to take a week to prepare, and that's why I have all this stuff on my table. It's called pressed flowers. Okay, and even you boys will like this, because everybody loves flowers, and it's something that we can do to shine bright. I'll show you and tell you why. So here is, I did these flowers. Look how flat they are. And then just so I could turn it like this, I put a little tiny bit of glue to show you. Look at, these are over 30 years old. I pressed these when I was a lot younger. And look at, the blue stayed blue, the red stayed red, and now they're glued on here. And look at, they're flat. Isn't that fun? They'll last forever. I could put another piece of, like maybe put cardboard over top so that it protects them. Or I put them, what they used to do, put them in a book, your favorite book, like the Bible. You could put, all right, my grandmother has her grandmother's Bible with a flower that her grandmother pressed that's over 100 years old, and it still has color in it. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So I took, now we should be able to have all this stuff at home. I took the ads from the supermarkets. Okay, you're going to fold them in half. But now I'm going to show you what I did. So I'm going backwards. So it was folded in half. And then I had a treasured piece of paper towel folded in half. So now this is the flower that I pressed. See it? Nice and fat. That's part of my arrangement. All right. And I want to remember this past Palm Sunday because it was so different than any other. I'm going to open up the paper. Look at it. See how it's pressed flat? Now, I loosened it a little bit, but you're going to have to be careful because it might stick. It might stick to the paper towel. So you might have to like have mom or dad help you get it off. But look at it, how flat. Now, I could glue this on a card, right? And I could send it to my grandma. I could send it to my grandpa. I could send it to my best friend and write on it, "You're my best friend. I miss you. I love you. Dear Grandma, I miss you. I love you." And then sign your name, right? Mom and Dad could help you if you don't write yet. All right. So I put that flour in here when it was fat. Let's see. In fact, let me show you. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. Let me show you with some of the flowers that are on my Hosanna branch. Okay, so here's a paper towel. We have to do them separately. Let me see if I can get them apart. This is hard with, All right, so I'm going to take my Hosanna flower. I'm going to put it down. See how I'm putting it like it's sitting on the front. And you don't want them to, well, you don't want them to, okay. You don't want them to cross over on each other. And then fold it over fast, all right? Then I'm going to put it in the newspaper. Very carefully fold it over. Now, if you have one of these old telephone books, you can do that too. You can use that. But the paper towel keeps it very absorbent, so it absorbs the moisture. So now after that, what I would do is I take all my heavy books, heavy, oh, heavy. And even if you have like little weights or something mom and dad have, the heavier the better. So yesterday, this was underneath all the books, I did those flowers just to check and see how it worked. This is after a day. Look at, they're pretty flat already. And they were just under those books. Let's see if they pick up. Oh yeah, a little careful you have to be. Oops, that stuck a little bit. But look at it, it's already getting flat. All right, so that's going to be fun. We're going to have fun. And next week we'll make the cards, all right? So leave it under the books. I'm going to put this under with that. Let me see. Ooh. Move it. Put this. I won't put it in the same part. I'll put it in between the other two there. All right. And then, I'll put the books back on top. All right. And that'll sit there all week. You can make sure you put it in a place where it's not going to be in the way and has to be moved. And then next week, we'll unveil our flattened out flowers. Now, you don't want to get, like this was pretty fat. I'm trying to think what's out there. You want something that you know is going to flatten. Mom and Dad could help you pick out the right ones. But these are blooming right now, and they make pretty, really pretty pressed flowers. So if you have them in your yard, you know, you can snap them right off. And you saw how I did that? So I am so excited to share this with you. I just am so happy that there's such a thing as video, so we can still be together. And you can see that your church family is thinking about you and loving you, all right, and missing you. So remember, get your bag going if you haven't yet, and start putting some things in there that you want to share when we get back to Sunday school together, all right? I'm going to do the song again because, remember, Jesus lives. Happy new life. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart. Down in my heart, I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart, I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. Happy Easter, everybody. Have a wonderful day with your family. And we'll be together before you know it. All right? Love you. Mwah. Bye.